Imagine discovering that nearly 3 centuries of human history never actually happened. That Charlemagne, one of history's most influential emperors, was nothing more than an elaborate fiction created by medieval propagandists. This is the core claim of the phantom time hypothesis, one of the most controversial theories ever proposed about our past. In 1991, German historian Heribert Illig published a paper that would shake the foundations of historical scholarship. His claim was bold and seemingly absurd. The years 614 to 911 AD never existed. According to Illig, we're not living in the 21st century at all. If his theory is correct, the current year should actually be somewhere in the 1700s. But how could nearly 300 years of history simply vanish? Illig's theory centers on a supposed conspiracy involving Holy Roman Emperor Otto III, Pope Sylvester II, and Byzantine Emperor Constantine VII. These 3 powerful leaders allegedly colluded to fabricate centuries of history, placing themselves at the prestigious year 1000 AD instead of the actual year 700 AD. Their motivation? Power and legitimacy. By inventing a glorious past and inserting themselves into a millennial year, they could claim a divine mandate to rule. The conspiracy would have required forging thousands of documents, creating fictional historical figures, and backdating architectural achievements. It sounds impossible, yet Illig insists the evidence is there. Let's examine the evidence that phantom time theorists cite. First, there's the archaeological puzzle. The early Middle Ages, sometimes called the Dark Ages, have significantly fewer archaeological remains compared to the periods immediately before and after. Buildings, artifacts, and settlements from this era are mysteriously sparse. Critics argue this 3-century gap leaves almost no physical evidence of its existence. Then there's the calendar confusion. When Pope Gregory XIII reformed the calendar in 1582, he removed 10 days to realign it with the solar year. But Illig calculated that 13 days should have been removed to account for drift since the Julian calendar's inception. Those missing 3 days, he argued, point to roughly 300 phantom years that never accumulated real time. Architectural anomalies add another layer of mystery. Romanesque architecture, supposedly from the 10th and 11th centuries, shows remarkable similarity to buildings from the 7th century. If nearly 3 centuries separated these structures, shouldn't we see more dramatic evolution in building techniques and styles? Phantom time proponents say the similarities exist because there was no gap at all. Perhaps most intriguing is the Charlemagne problem. This legendary emperor supposedly ruled a vast European empire, promoted a cultural renaissance, and left an indelible mark on Western civilization. Yet contemporary accounts of his reign are suspiciously scarce. Most records of Charlemagne were written decades or centuries after his supposed death. Could history's most celebrated medieval ruler have been invented entirely? Documentary evidence from the phantom centuries also raises eyebrows. Many manuscripts supposedly from this period are copies of copies, with originals conveniently lost to time. Charter dates sometimes contradict each other. Royal lineages show suspicious gaps. For phantom time believers, these aren't just historical oversights. They're smoking guns pointing to systematic forgery. But here's where the theory crumbles under scrutiny. Mainstream historians have thoroughly debunked the phantom time hypothesis, pointing out fatal flaws in its logic. The calendar calculation Illig used was simply wrong. The Gregorian reform was designed to fix drift since the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD, not since Julius Caesar. The math actually works perfectly without phantom years. The archaeological record, while admittedly sparse during parts of the early Middle Ages, still exists. Thousands of coins, inscriptions, and dated artifacts from the supposedly phantom centuries have been authenticated. Byzantine, Islamic, and Chinese historical records all corroborate European dating for this period. For the conspiracy to work, falsification would need to span multiple civilizations that had no contact with each other. Astronomical records provide perhaps the most damning evidence against phantom time. Solar eclipses, comets, and planetary positions recorded during the supposedly fabricated centuries align perfectly with astronomical calculations. These celestial events can be verified with mathematical precision. Ancient Chinese and Arabic astronomers documented phenomena that match European dates exactly. You can't forge the movements of planets. Dendrochronology, the science of dating tree rings, has produced continuous chronologies extending back thousands of years. Tree ring patterns from the early Middle Ages match perfectly with the established timeline. Ice cores from Greenland and Antarctica contain annual layers that correspond with historical dates, including the phantom centuries. Physical evidence from nature itself contradicts Illig's theory. So why does the phantom time hypothesis persist despite overwhelming evidence against it? Perhaps because it taps into something deeper than historical analysis. It speaks to our suspicion of authority, our fascination with conspiracy, and our desire to believe that reality might be fundamentally different than we're told. The theory offers a seductive narrative where nothing is quite as it seems. The so-called Dark Ages did earn their name for a reason. Literacy declined, urbanization decreased, and fewer written records survived compared to Roman times. But darkness and fabrication aren't the same thing. The early Middle Ages were a period of transformation, not absence. They were only dark because fewer people were writing things down, not because those people didn't exist. What the phantom time hypothesis really reveals is how we construct historical knowledge. We rely on documents, artifacts, and dating methods that require trust in scientific processes and scholarly consensus. When someone questions the entire framework, it exposes how much of history we accept on faith, because we weren't there to witness it ourselves. Heribert Illig continues to defend his theory, dismissing counter-evidence as part of the very fabrication he's trying to expose. It's a self-sealing argument that can't be falsified in his view. Any evidence against phantom time becomes evidence of how thorough the original conspiracy was. This circular reasoning is why the hypothesis remains on the fringe of historical discourse. Fascinating, but fundamentally flawed. The phantom time hypothesis may not hold up to scientific scrutiny, but it serves as a reminder to question our assumptions and demand evidence for extraordinary claims. 300 years of history did happen. Charlemagne was real. And yes, you really are living in the 21st century. But here's a question to consider. If a conspiracy this massive could theoretically be executed, how would we actually know? What other accepted truths might deserve a second look?